Libria, a totalitarian city-state established by survivors of World War III, blames human emotion as the cause for the war. Any activity or object that stimulates emotion is strictly forbidden. Those in violation are labeled sense offenders and sentenced to death. The population is forced to take a daily injection of prosium-2 to suppress emotion. Libria is governed by the Tetragrammaton Council, led by Father, who communicates propaganda through giant video screens throughout the city. At the pinnacle of law enforcement are the Grammaton Clerics, trained in the martial art of gun kata, which increases their gun efficiency by 120%, while keeping them safe from the known angles of return fire. Clerics frequently raid homes to search for and destroy illegal materials, art, literature, and music, executing violators on the spot. A resistance movement, known as the Underground, emerges to topple Father and the Tetragrammaton Council. In 2072, John Preston is a high-ranking cleric whose wife, Viviana, was executed as a sense offender by ignoring to take her prosium and thereby feeling emotions, leaving him as a single parent of two. Following a raid, Preston notices his partner, Errol Partridge, saves a book of poems by W.B. Yeats instead of turning it in for incineration. He checks the evidence center later and finds that Errol hasn't turned the book in, as per protocol. He follows Partridge to the Nether, a term for regions outside the city, and finds him reading the book. After seeing Preston, Partridge claims he gladly pays the heavy price of feeling emotion. Preston executes him as Partridge slowly reaches for his gun. Preston accidentally breaks a daily vial of prosium and is unable to replace it before going on the next raid. Preston is supposed to report to the Equilibrium to get a replacement dose. The Equilibrium building is the command and control center of the government and heavily fortified. But before Preston walks, he is picked up by his new partner to accompany him on a raid. Brief episodes of emotion, sunlight, rain, set in evoking memories, stirring feelings, and making him more aware of his surroundings. He intentionally skips additional doses of prosium, hiding them behind the mirror in his bathroom. Partridge is replaced with an ambitious, career-conscious Brant, who expresses admiration for Preston's uncompromising work as a cleric. On a raid, they arrest sense offender Mary O'Brien. To Brant's surprise, Preston prevents him from executing O'Brien, even after Mary tries to shoot Preston when he finds the hidden room where Mary had kept the old world artifacts and promised her that he would find her associates, saying she should be kept alive for interrogation. Brant grows suspicious of Preston's hesitation. Mary says that the point of her existence is to feel. Preston assigns Mary for processing at the Palace of Justice. Preston begins to feel remorse for killing Partridge and develops an emotional relationship with O'Brien. On one of the raids, after killing a group of resistance fighters who hit a prosium factory, Preston discovers a hidden basement with old world artifacts. Brant is further suspicious when he saves a puppy from execution, who was found in the backyard of the resistors. Preston later returns to the Nether to return the puppy, but is followed secretly by Brant. Preston is found releasing the puppy by a team of police enforcers who are about to shoot him. But Preston's gun kata training kicks in, and he decimates his opponents. Vice Consul DuPont, who is the voice of the father in public, meets with Preston to reveal that there is a traitor in the upper ranks of the clerics. Although DuPont appears to know it is Preston, he assigns him the task of unmasking the traitor. Relieved, Preston accepts and promises to locate the Underground's leadership. At the next raid, Preston finds some resistors hidden behind the walls and allows them to escape. He again kills a team of police enforcers when the resistors are discovered. Brant still finds the resistors and kills them off. But the resistors now consider Preston as an ally. Preston uncovers clues. He finds that Errol knew Mary. He questions Mary and follows the leads to a Gov building which was hiding the underground HQ that lead to meeting Jurgen, leader of the underground. Jurgen is planning to disrupt prosium production to spark a populist uprising and convinces Preston that father must be assassinated. Meanwhile, O'Brien is set to be executed, and Jurgen advises against interfering, believing it could sabotage plans for the revolution. Unable to bear her death, Preston attempts to stop the execution and fails. He has an emotional breakdown and is arrested by Brandt, who brings him before DuPont. Preston tricks DuPont into believing that Brandt is the traitor. It was Brandt's gun at the 2 massacres of the police enforcers, which Preston had switched with his own gun. Following Brandt's arrest, Preston is told that his home will be searched as a formality. He rushes home to destroy the hidden vials, only to discover his son Robbie, who stopped taking prosium after his mother died, already has. Jurgen tells Preston to capture the leaders of the resistance to regain government trust, hoping it will get Preston close enough to assassinate father. Preston is granted an exclusive audience with father, only to discover that Brandt was not arrested. It was part of a ruse to expose Preston and the underground. DuPont reveals he is father, having secretly replaced the original father who died, and that he doesn't take prosium to suppress emotion. He taunts Preston, asking how it felt to betray the underground. Enraged, Preston fights his way through an army of bodyguards to DuPont's office, confronting and killing Brandt in a katana battle. DuPont and Preston engage in a gun-kata showdown. Preston wins as DuPont pleads for his life, asking, "Is it really worth the price?" Paying homage to Partridge's last words, he responds, "I pay it gladly," and kills DuPont. He destroys the command center that broadcasts father propaganda. Preston watches with satisfaction from above as the underground destroys prosium manufacturing plants, signaling the beginning of the revolution.